Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here. Welcome to another Princess Connect video. So this is day 2 of my free-to-play account, and as you can see, I am extremely mana starved. So I should have recorded this before the reset, but obviously I didn't really have time, so here it is. A few things happened in the second day, so I switched to a new team. So essentially, let me just quickly show you. As you know, I still benched my Luxac unit, which is my Makoto and my Jun, to make this series a bit more relatable. Because initially I wanted to reroll the Sarah on the tutorial, which I did, and then get Ilya on the 20 pulls, which I did as well, but Jun came with her. And then when I was doing 20 more pulls, after I cleared 4-5, I believe, I got Makoto. So I'm benching them until further notice. But initially I was pushing the story with Miyako, Saren, Ilya, Kokoro, and Misato. However, I realized that this team wasn't that great in terms of getting to the later stages. There are lots of units that will hit your position 2, so Ilya essentially just dies because now she's rank 4. She unlocks her second skill, and because I don't have enough divine amulets for her in story mode, she just cannot keep up. So right now this is what I'm using, and you can see that even though I had 3 units that were used in the original team, by just adding and rebuilding the 2 other units, that has caused my mana to be essentially completely depleted. I don't think their skills are maxed for at least Yukari, I believe. However, I'm happy to make the switch. If I had an Archer, Shiori, or Suzuna, and Suzuna is the better choice here, I would actually replace Kaori. But because I don't have her on this account, this free-to-play account, and I'm not going to pull at the moment, I've decided to use Kaori for now. Instead of using someone like Makoto. But essentially, the reason behind this team is you have your healer, your support healer, which is Misato. You can use Yui or someone in this position. And then you have your main tank, which is Miyako. She's great. You can use Nozomi or Jun if you have her. And then position 2, ideally I would want Yukari to be standing here, because Yukari can heal and she's a bit more tanky, even though she's 1-star right now, but I can get dungeon coins to 2-star her. And then Kokoro in position 3 is fantastic because there are a lot of enemies that just aim for your position 3 unit, and then with Kokoro in that position, she takes damage that fills her TP bar, and then she can self-heal through her UB. And also Kokoro is just great doing story because she can tank swap, so giving a lot of leeway into survivability. So that's how I would run it. Take the Kaori off and put in Archer in the 4th position, but again, I don't have the Archer right now, so this is what I'm running, and I'm doing fine, I think. If we look at my progression, so after switching to the new team, I progressed all the way to 6-2 at the moment. I think I couldn't 3-star some of the maybe just a few map 5 stages I couldn't 3-star, but I was able to move past it no problem. And in terms of the hard nodes, I stopped at 4-1 for now. 4 is a bit difficult for me, but it's quite important because this is the second Kokoro node, so I want to 2-star Kokoro and 2-star Yukari as soon as possible, because these 2 are the flex units. They're very versatile, and I'll be using them for a long time, so those are my short-term goals. After clearing 515 or 514, I was able to unlock the new dungeon. So what I did yesterday was I cleared the first dungeon, but obviously I didn't clear the second one. But you can always go to the next one. So for example, in the previous dungeon I cleared it, and I opened this one up yesterday, so the attempts left here would show 0 out of 1. However, on the next day I still get refilled, so I have this extra attempt per se. This technique is used during the event, special promotion for mana drops. Essentially the day prior or 2 days prior, essentially you clear up all the way to the last boss, and then you just wait for the next day to have the one extra attempt refilled, so that when you go into the event day, you actually have 2 attempts for that day. One from essentially you being in this instance already, and the second from the attempt 1 out of 1 that you get on the day of. So that's that. And then looking at looking at some of the other aspects, if we look at the hard nodes I discussed previously, right now I don't think for the hard nodes I'm extremely worried. I probably won't starting to my farm on hard nodes until much later, because initially for me, again, I said Kokoro is very important. Everyone else, I would say maybe I could look into Yui, but everyone else right now is lower priority compared to me just getting as far as I can through story. So I definitely want to progress as far as I can through here first, and then think about the hard nodes after. That'll probably be 2 or 3 videos later. However, I will be releasing a video for the hard node or the dungeon shards, essentially the coin shop priorities, as my next video. So it's not just going to be the free-to-play series, the progression series. So I also entered the event at level 37, if I recall, just because I feel the Maho shards and the Kaori shards are very important. So I'm in there, and then one thing I noticed is I can actually show you right now. If you enter too early, like I've said in the previous post before, you actually don't get any of the golden item drops. So you get a lot of, well, I mean, this is great. The earrings are going to be fantastic for me initially, but I'll probably just be farming the hard nodes and not the normal nodes, because if I farm the normal nodes, I don't really get any good jobs even on the last node for normal. So yeah, you can see it's pretty poor, and it's the same with the equipments. I believe the drops are not that great. So that is my progression so far. Another big topic I wanted to cover and also discuss is the stamina refill. So for the first day, I believe I refilled 6 times, 3 or 6 times. Today I haven't done any refill at the moment, but potentially I think it would be up for debate whether I do the 14 versus the 3. So the 14 came about when I first started the game on the global server. People were a bit rushed in terms of content. Everyone's trying to get into the arena bracket and fight to the top, and I did that because I felt as a player who didn't plan to spend a lot in this game, the initial rush on unlocking arena was a lot more important. So I wanted to get to rank 7, and on my account I did get to rank 1 arena relatively easy. However, you can see that in this arena bracket, there are already people who are level 91. So I think he's just gonna camp at 2nd place, which is fine because I can just go up and fight the 1st place later on. But for players like that, I guess it's alright in terms of my stamina usage. I'm not going to go 14 because I don't think I can catch up anyhow, so just going slow at my own pace will probably be the best call for now. So then the plan for this, and again I'm looking for feedback as well, is to probably go with 3 refreshes per day, which is the standard free-to-play player refresh amount. And then when N2 drops, so normal 2, which means all the equipment drops will be doubled, and when that happens I will go to either 6 or 14, because the math behind it is at normal 2, because the 14 refresh cost at the 3rd tier is 100, at N2 it essentially means, are you willing to spend 50 gems for a refresh? And 50 is cheaper than the 60 cost at X6. So I think I'll be fine taking it to a X14 when an N2 first time drop happens. Again, feel free to leave a comment to see if that works, that is what you prefer, because I also want to see if players prefer a more rushed content for this series, where I refresh a lot more and try to make a push, versus taking a bit slow, doing 3x and waiting for events to happen. The last part I wanted to show you is, well, I wanted to answer some of the questions posted in the comments. So I went over the hard notes and I went over the stamina refreshes. The last thing I wanted to cover was the manual play, or the difficult stages, and how to deal with difficult stages. So okay, I'm gonna refill once, and let's use this stage as an example. So I'm running my team and I'm trying to clear this. and we can see, let's do this on double speed. So if I'm running this on auto, there is no way I'm going to be able to clear this stage. I think, wait, this is 1-1, correct? Yeah, okay, so this might be the wrong stage. Okay, I meant 4-1, so I'll go into 4-1, showcase that one more time. So let's go to 4-1. Yeah, this is the 1-star Kokoro stage, which is quite important for me. Okay, so here, a lot of people will say, you know what, for mapping, I just want to do auto, but there are actually a few tricks you can do for auto, and of course in manual, that can allow you to clear a stage where you otherwise most likely cannot. So for here, you can see the mules in the back are attacking Yukari, who's the position 3 unit. Unfortunately, my Yukari is missing, I think, a piece of gear right now, so she's not going to be able to tank this. The best person to have a position 3 would be Kokoro. So again, like I said previously, if I had Suzuna, I would put Suzuna, and then Kokoro would be position 3. And this way, no, how did Kaori miss there? And then this way, Kokoro can tank the mules and then heal off of her UB. However, because I don't, then this is going to be a bit more tough, and we'll see how this progresses. So one of the trick you can do, even on auto, is you know there's only 2 enemies left, and everyone's filling their TP bar quite quickly. So you can just turn off auto so people don't use their TP and not waste, for example, Kaori's ult on a full HP unit. So that's already one of the trick, but I don't think they will make it through this run. Yeah, so essentially, yeah, this auto is not going to do it. Kokoro will just die. There's not enough damage to clear this. So I'll just retreat here, and I'll show you some things you can do. So one thing is the Kokoro tank swap, which I have in a different video. You can tank swap Kokoro to have her to tank, and that way you can alleviate some of the stress on your main tanks. So we'll be deploying that here, and as well as doing this manually to see if we can clear this. So let's take this slow and turn off auto. There. One thing that's interesting I found out is because of the Kokoro charge, Misato's first heal will always be healing Kokoro instead of Miyako. So I guess it just makes Kokoro even more tanky in this team. Okay, so first thing is you see the UB of Yukari come up. I'm actually not going to use Yukari's UB because if Yukari's UB is full, or TP is full, sorry, she'll be charging someone that's not herself. So let's do the heal, and I think in terms of pressure wise we can probably wait for the Kokoro swap. Let's take this one down with the UB, and then we'll wait for the Kokoro swap. I don't think Yukari will live, yeah, so unfortunately Yukari dies, and everyone else is relatively healthy. So here I'm not going to use any more newbies. I'm just gonna wait till this is cleared. And actually, I think it was not a smart choice potentially to let the swap happen because it forced Kaori to be in position 3. So here, lots of decisions. So I want the Miyako to UB. Okay, so let's do this first. Let's heal up Kokoro. So Kokoro is now in 2nd position, taking the pressure off of Miyako. And let's get the UB out and kill this person, because this one is going to target Kaori, the bone throwing thing. And let's heal everyone. Okay, so at this point I think to clear the rest of this map I won't be using any UBs, but it's cutting a bit close. That swap initially might have caused Kaori to take some unwanted hits. So let's heal Miyako a bit more. Okay, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Kaori is going to live the next one. Okay. Oh. Let's see if the tank swapping Kokoro can save Kaori. So after the buffs, let's use the skill. I'm waiting for the Kokoro charge. Here we go. Okay. So now Kokoro hopefully can help help take some of the pressure off. Oh, I think unfortunately Kaori is going to die here. Yeah. So this bone chime person needs to be throwing the charge at Kokoro. So I needed to get Kokoro to be a bit more forward. So this didn't work out, and we're going to try again, most likely. Unless Miyako can solo it with Misato. Potentially. Because remember, in the previous run, Miyako unfortunately died. But let's see if we can survive. Yeah, it does not look like it. Okay, so let's retreat here. And so we learned from our mistake to watch for the tank swap. Alright, here we go. So Yukari, I think, unfortunately, is still going to die here. There's nothing we can do. So we know this time not to tank swap the... let's heal. Not to tank swap the Kokoro in the first instance, and the mules don't hit. Okay, here we go. And let's boost up the attack. Okay. So we saw here Misato actually took some hit because people are walking forward and the timing kind of lined up. So this time our Kaori, I believe, is a lot more healthy. Okay, so that is stage 1. Alright. So let's get the heal out early so the TP regen can start. And let's use Kaori UB. Okay. So against this person, we can now wait for the next Kaori Kokoro charge and then tank swap. Oh, it's already dead. Alright, that's fine. So I think going into it in this time, definitely a bit more healthy. Just need to make sure that Kaori is topped up because she is our damage dealer. And we'll wait for the next Misato UB. Because you need to remember that going through each map, you gain some TP as well as some HP back. So in the later stages, you want to save your damaging abilities and let the TP regen as well. So here, Kaori is a lot safer going into it. So let's UB. And let's use putting UB to kill this one quick. And I'm gonna time the Kokoro charge so that, here we go. So this way now Kaori is no longer position 2, I believe. And the bone throwing, oh, but except we walked. Okay, so the bone throwing person is still attacking Kaori. So that's something we need to watch out for next time if this one fails. But I believe we should be able to do it this time. Let's make sure that we spam our UBs. But you can see that even these mini skills really matter a lot. How you use them, when you use them. The tank swap mechanics. Yeah. So Kaori is going to die, unfortunately. Here we go. But I believe we are going to clear this stage. So again, because this is a hard node, obviously I'm not going to do this every time. What I'm going to probably do is gear up, go as far as I can. However, in normal mode, this is quite good because what happens in normal after first clear is the stages after it aren't necessarily harder, and also after you first clear a node, you get the first time reward, which often contains equipments that you'll need to upgrade your unit further. So that's what I would do for some of the stages I'm stuck on, and you can definitely use this technique as well. Again, saving TP at the end when there's 1 or 2 enemies left, using the Kokoro tank swap to manipulate positions against specific enemies, and yeah, make sure that everyone's geared, and oh good, a Kokoro shard. So hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments, if you're a new player especially. I'm going to have a segment answering all these questions in every one of these update videos, so that I can clarify on some of the advice and information for beginners.